Have you ever experienced something so unexplainable, it made you question the very fabric of reality? Welcome to a journey through the shadows of the ordinary, where the impossible becomes possible. Today, we delve deep into 3 true stories based on real events, where individuals have encountered what can only be described as a glitch in the matrix. These are not mere tales of coincidence or illusion. They are glimpses into moments where the world as we know it seems to falter, revealing a hidden, deeper layer. Beneath the relentless pulse of Pittsburgh's city lights, my life unfolded in a series of transient moments, each day blending into the next, with the predictability of a clock's ticking hands. As a wanderer of sorts, tethered to a job that demanded constant movement, I found my solace in the rhythm of the road, hotels serving as temporary anchors in a sea of ceaseless change. Yet, amidst this routine existence, there lies a tale so peculiar, so unsettling in its defiance of logic that it haunts me to this very day. On that particular Friday, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The clock struck 5 p.m., signaling the end of another day's toil. Eager to shrug off the week's weariness, I set off towards the PA Turnpike, the road home. Yet before surrendering to the beckoning highway, I made a customary stop at a quaint mom-and-pop gas station. A modest establishment that seemed untouched by time, offering solace to weary travelers like myself. After fueling up, I entered the gas station, greeted by the warm glow of overhead lights and the comforting hum of conversation. The place had a cozy, familiar air, with shelves lined with an assortment of goods that seemed to whisper tales of countless journeys. "I'll take this to go, please," I said to the person behind the counter, handing over the money for my gas and eyeing the homemade burgers that boasted of a homely touch. Their nod was accompanied by a smile, the kind that spoke of simple lives and simpler pleasures. Back on the road, the journey unfolded as it always did, with the landscape blurring past in a symphony of colors and lights. The hours ticked by, each mile drawing me closer to the embrace of home. Yet, as dusk began to paint the sky in hues of orange and purple, a pang of hunger diverted my plans. Consulting my GPS, I sought the nearest sanctuary for a weary traveler, a gas station where I could refuel both my truck and myself. The directions led me through familiar roads, yet the sense of déjà vu did not register until the very moment I pulled into the parking lot. A wave of disbelief washed over me as I stared at the facade of the gas station. It was the same mom-and-pop establishment I had left hours ago, standing there as if I had never departed. My heart raced as I stepped inside, half expecting the world to have shifted around me. "Back so soon?" the person behind the counter remarked, a hint of amusement in their voice, oblivious to the turmoil that churned within me. I thought I'd been driving for hours," I stammered, unable to hide my confusion. Their puzzled look only mirrored my own bewilderment. Gathering my wits, I hurried through my meal, each bite tasting of uncertainty. The clock on the wall mocked me, its hands pointing to a time that made no sense. It was after 7 p.m. By all accounts, I should have been halfway home, yet there I was, ensnared in an inexplicable loop. As I walked back to my truck, 1,000 questions swirled in my mind. The logical part of me scrambled for explanations. Had I fallen asleep, lost in a brief lapse of consciousness? Yet, the fuel gauge told a different story, its needle confirming the miles that had unfolded beneath my wheels. That day, the fabric of my reality seemed to fray at the edges, revealing a glimpse into a world where time and space obeyed no master. I drove home in silence, the events replaying over and over, a relentless echo of the impossible. To this day, the memory stands as a testament to an unexplained anomaly in my life, a glitch in the matrix that defies logic, a tale of 2.5 hours that vanished into the ether, leaving behind nothing but the echo of a question unanswered. In the stillness of a Saturday night, under the cloak of darkness pierced only by the distant glimmer of streetlights, I found myself enveloped in the warmth of camaraderie and celebration. The occasion was a birthday party, hosted at a friend's house, a gathering that promised laughter, stories, and the forging of memories. As the night unfolded, the house became a living entity, pulsating with the beats of music and the murmur of conversations, a stark contrast to the quiet streets outside. The party was a vibrant split between realms: the main floor, where I gravitated, and the basement, a domain of booming bass and shadowed corners that I consciously avoided. The cacophony of sound that erupted from the stairwell leading down was enough to cement my decision. The music, a relentless assault on the senses, was an anathema to my peace of mind. Besides, the main floor was where my circle was, including my best friend, who had been my anchor and transport to this swirling sea of festivity. Days later, the normalcy of school life resumed, a mundane counterpoint to the weekend's exuberance. It was there, amidst the lockers and the lingering echoes of the party, that a chance encounter with a distant friend, more an acquaintance bound by mutual circles than a confidant, set the stage for a revelation that would haunt me. "Hey, check out some of the photos from the other night," he said, his voice laced with the excitement of shared memories as he pulled out his phone. As we scrolled through the images, a visual diary of the night's escapades, we paused at a particular photo. It depicted him and a girl, smiles wide, in the dimly lit backdrop of the basement, a place I had meticulously avoided. Yet, there I was. In the background, my image was captured, a specter out of place and time, smiling enigmatically, almost ethereally, at something just beyond the camera's gaze. "That's impossible," I whispered, a chill creeping up my spine. "I was never in the basement." He looked at me, puzzled. "What do you mean? You were right there, dude. Even tried to catch your attention, but you seemed off." Panic, swift and unrelenting, took hold as I struggled to reconcile his words with my own unerring certainty of my whereabouts that night. A frantic call to my best friend only deepened the mystery, her confirmation echoing my own recollections. I had not ventured below, not once. The impossibility of the situation, the undeniable evidence of my presence where I had not been, gnawed at the edges of my sanity. The photograph, a silent testament to an anomaly, became a symbol of my unease. There, captured in pixels and light, stood another version of myself, an impossible doppelganger whose existence defied logic. Theories, wild and desperate, flitted through my mind as I grappled with the reality before me. I knew I hadn't been under any influence that night. My only companion had been a water bottle I'd brought with me, untouched by anything that could alter perception or memory. Yet there I was in the photograph, a phantom version of myself, ensconced in the very place I had consciously avoided. Was it possible that in some inexplicable slip of reality, I had bifurcated, leaving a part of me to wander unseen paths? Or was there another, a twin of some quantum misstep, sharing my visage but not my memories, mirroring my form but not my essence, a simulated version of me, born in the depths of impossibility? This enigmatic snapshot, a window into an occurrence that defies the mundane fabric of existence, lingers as an unresolved enigma, a harbinger of sleepless nights. Each time I dare revisit the image, the uncanny calm of my own face, inexplicably present in a moment and place I know I never was, challenges the very notion of reality. It stands as a testament to the unfathomable, a chilling reminder that the world harbors mysteries far beyond our understanding, leaving me to ponder the depths of our existence and the potential for realms untold. At the age of 17, the mall was practically my second home, a sanctuary where my friend and I basked in the glow of teenage freedom. Yet, there exists one particular visit, etched into my memory with vivid clarity, distinguished from countless others by its sheer peculiarity. It was an evening like no other, with the mall's vibrant lights dimmed to a haunting half-glow, casting long shadows across the corridors. Despite the oddity, the mall's doors were open, beckoning us into its eerily quiet embrace. Strangely, a third of the stores lay deserted, their shutters closed without a whisper of reason, a scene both unusual and unsettling. devoid of the usual hustle. As we ventured deeper, an inexplicable chill danced along my spine. The dimming light, coupled with the setting sun, transformed the once lively space into a realm of shadows and whispers. But it was not the altered landscape that unnerved us the most. It was the people, or rather, their unnerving attention. Scarcely populated, the mall was far from its usual bustling self, yet every soul we passed seemed ensnared by our presence. Eyes, wide and unblinking, followed our every step. These were not mere curious glances, but intense, lingering stares that seemed to pierce through us, as if we were specters wandering amongst the living. At first, we basked in the eerie, celebrity-like attention, jokingly assuring each other of our undeniable allure. Yet, as we scrutinized our reflections for any anomaly that might have drawn such stares, we found nothing amiss. Our attire was mundane, our faces clear. There was no logical explanation for the unwavering gazes that felt almost invasive. The realization of our peculiar situation dawned upon us when a family, parents pushing a stroller, watched us with synchronized fascination, their eyes trailing us long after we had passed. It was then that the amusing peculiarity of the situation twisted into a discomforting puzzle. Why were we the sole focus of such unwavering attention? As we meandered through the mall, the phenomenon persisted. An unsettling majority of those we encountered, regardless of age or background, paused to stare. Shop clerks, fellow shoppers, even strangers seated in the food court, all turned their gaze towards us, ignoring all others. It felt as though we had stumbled into a realm where we did not belong, marked as outsiders by an invisible sign only they could see. The atmosphere thickened with unease, transforming our familiar haven into a stage for a surreal spectacle. We felt like protagonists in a dystopian narrative, surrounded by entities who viewed us as anomalies in their perfectly orchestrated world. The sensation of being out of place grew so unbearable that we retreated, calling for rescue from the once comforting labyrinth. Even my father, who had arrived to pick us up, sensed the peculiar shift, affirming our unease. What we had hoped to be a routine escape into our adolescent sanctuary turned into a strange episode, leaving us to question the reality of our experience. When we dared to return a few days later, the mall had reverted to its usual self, as if the event had been nothing but a shared hallucination. Yet the memory remains. A stark reminder of the day reality itself seemed to glitch, enveloping us in a mystery that defies explanation.